10% off your order when you buy an award-winning Casper mattress. The one over 50,000 people gave a perfect 5-star rating. Get the deep restorative sleep you need to give 2020 everything you got. Because there's no better way to start the new year than with better snooze. Save 10% on your order when you buy any mattress. Try it for 100 nights. Risk-free.
I gotta get it. You hating cause I took no risk. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, Just for the that haters, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, Be liking my flavor.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Texans take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
What's that? 19! Watch the screen, watch the screen! Down the road!
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now a first down throw. Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack. Here's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
And the Texans first down. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Target set, 19!
A first down carry here for Johnson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Single. Here I come.
From the 50, it's Watson. And this will complete to Will Fuller. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 35.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
That's good for the Texans. First down.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Watson looks to throw again. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, Rosen. Caught here by Conley. And some room to run now. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And again this time to the tailback. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. To throw is Rosen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Benardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now Watson. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
Well, warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go, D.
No score after 1 on EA Sports.
All day, every day.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson for the catch made by Hopkins. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches. There's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throws into his tight end, Gesicki. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. On 1st down, Dobbins. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. J.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor, maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Tight end right. 4 down.
Back to throw, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 11th touchdown of the year, and the Texans have taken the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken short. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive down with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rosen. And he will find his man on the outside. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd down, Dobbins, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 19.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
First foray into the red zone for Miami. 1st and 10 at the 19. And now it's Rosen looking. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting in a field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 45. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Rosen will throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. From the gun, it's Rosen. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
The Texans take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This one taken just inside the 10. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Watson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. To throw is Watson. To throw again. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Here's Watson. And he's got his man Hilton. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with it.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
All right, here we go.
3rd and long here for Rosen. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but what, 6? Let's hope we don't get bad again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. And they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, he's got Fuller. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Watson. He hits right, complete. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Tyus Bowser has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back 1 pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Rosen to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Kevin Byard.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Watson going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. But the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Watson now to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. To throw is Watson. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Jordan Evans, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 25 yards that time. From the red zone now, Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. T.Y. Hilton once again the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Watson looks to throw again. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are able to cut into that lead. A big spot now for the Texans as they'll try for 2. Now Watson. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion. And now we're back to a 1-score game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. He was looking for Parker that time. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over. Now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Watson throwing again. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
At the 21-yard line.
Get out! 55. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball right here.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rosen, he's got the hook up with Conley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
First down, Miami.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
Let's go!
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 32-yard line.
And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball down the field as well.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? for the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time.